Ah, that's that 7-0 feeling, baby. Rough game, though. Rough game. Uh, ugly on the defensive side of the ball for us today. A lot of blown coverages. Edmonds again blowing coverage. Just lucky to get out of that one. I'll be honest with you. Hayward's down now. A lot of missed penalties in this game. A lot of missed holding calls, some pass interference calls. Even Tony Romo said it. He goes, about time they throw one out there. It just seems to be the narrative every time the Steelers play whoever it is, that we'll always get the calls against us, but not really ever for us. And you could say, oh, every Steelers fan says that. But if you look at every game over the past 10 plus years, yeah, it's pretty friggin' accurate. Other than that, though, where could my haters be? Because I don't hear you chirping now. Cupcake schedule. Oh, the Ravens are going to destroy you. Lamar Jackson's going to do this to you. Lamar Jackson's going to do that. Yeah, well, Lamar really didn't do a lot today, now did he? No. Spillane with the pick six. My man, Alex Highsmith with his first pick. Oh. You already know I hit his father up on Twitter with that one. I'm still waiting for that sack, though. That he's got to get. But I told you, if you give him the time to play, he's going to produce. Just the 1 o'clock games, the Dolphin-Ram game, all right, utterly surprised me. Never did I think they were going to beat the Rams, but it looked like the Rams didn't even want to play today. And a lot of people say that, that they don't really play well on the East Coast. Pretty accurate for the most part of the time. But, and like I said, Aaron Donald was going to blow up Tua. He did. I didn't watch the game because obviously my game was on, so, but I would check in here or there. From what I've seen, though, he didn't look too bad, but, again, it's Miami. They still need some weapons down there, but, obviously they're in rebuilding mode, and Tua's here to stay at this point right now. Bills-Patriot game. It was a game the Bills needed, but Cam kept them in it for the most part. It's going to be interesting to see what New England does by the deadline. Are they really going to have the fire sale that I keep reading about, that everyone's up for grabs? Are they really going to go through a rebuild mode now at this point? Chances are probably yeah. The Bengals-Titans. Did not see that one coming. Very surprising, but then again, Tennessee knows how to trip itself up a ton. And then you got Browns, Raiders. All right. Thank you, Derek Carr. Thank you. Thank God. And speaking of the Browns, I heard earlier today, and I read some rumblings that Cleveland may move on from Odell at the end of this year. A lot of people say different. Some guys on CBS said that it's not going to happen. Other guys say it's going to happen. You won't know till it actually happens. I think it's best if they both just part. Obviously, it's not a good relationship there from kind of what you hear and see. And again, Cleveland shows you that they all because Baker and the whole Browns organization last year, and Pudgy McGee over there, Freddie Kitchens last year, they had to hype themselves up into, we're the Super Bowl contenders, and the Super Bowl's going through Cleveland, and I woke up feeling dangerous. You didn't wake up dangerous today, did you, buddy? Derek Carr did, though. But back to the Steelers game, though, for a bit, because obviously I gotta enjoy it. Greatest start in franchise history, for one. And then two, you can tell when Fichtner's calling the plays and then when Ben's calling the plays. And, and I was telling everybody who's watching with me, I said, listen, look, you see the play call? This is all Ben right now. I don't know why we have an offensive coordinator. Just let Ben call the plays from the pocket. It's a lot easier. And as usual, Steeler Raven game always comes down to the wire, always the last second dramatic. And it would annoy me is at the end of the game, and Jackson throws one into the end zone, and Snead and Fitzpatrick go up for it, and they collide heads, and Harbaugh's pointing at the official. He wants a helmet to helmet. If that got called there, and I'm surprised it didn't, because that would just be the nature of that game where they would call that, because this Brad Allen referee, I can't stand him. He looks like one of the little Oompa Loompas from Willy Wonka. He's just flag happy, and I was surprised he really didn't throw one there. Actually, in Baltimore lost, forget his Staley, whatever his name is. The guy just signed some huge contract with them, and now he's probably going to be out the whole year. Hayward's injury, I'm scared because the way he was limping off the field, I think he tore his ACL. And it's a shame, because he got his payday, and he's been so good so far this year. And it's a huge loss on the defensive line because he's such a huge presence with Tuitt, which I told people the key to the defense this year so far has been that Tuitt stayed healthy. Because last year, obviously, you could see the defense is good, but now look with Tuitt in it for a full season so far, the guy's just a beast. And Isaiah Buggs is another guy, Alabama product. Guy stops him on 4th and 3, which pretty much sealed the game at that point. But all in all, I'm waiting for the haters to start hitting me up like, oh, the cupcake schedule. Oh, well, Lamar is not a quarterback. And yeah, you know what? I agree with that. Lamar is a glorified running back who just happens to be put in the quarterback position. But all in all, you knew it was going to be a back and forth game. All the emotions I told you you'd feel, I'm sure were there for all Steeler fans like they were for me. But the NFL, you know what? You got to get the officiating under control here. You can't be calling everything on one side and then not giving it for the other when it happens. There was a couple of pass interference calls you could have got on Marcus Peters covering Deontay Johnson. And I told everybody, I didn't go into this game thinking it was going to be a cupcake of a game and, we're going to blow them out and that if we were going to get tripped up, this would be the game that I really wouldn't want to lose. But now that we won it, then we got to play them again on Thanksgiving, and you're coming to Pittsburgh for that one. It's probably going to be the same thing. It's going to be back and forth. It's not going to be a blowout for one. And it's just... And I hope the NFL gets the officiating right in that one, because if you're calling pass interference for Baltimore all day, you got to give it the other way too. And I get it's a hard game. You can't see every penalty, and I know everybody's saying, well, you want to throw a flag for everything. No, I don't. But when it's right in front of your face, you got to throw the flag. It's just as simple as that. Countless holding calls missed. That I could see from the couch. You know what? NFL, call me. I'll officiate from the couch. I'll friggin' Zoom call flags in or whatever. All right. It's just every game. Every game, it's always something. And then just there's ticky-tack penalties called all game. In every game. And something's got to give there. But again, 7-0, and next week we got to play the Cowboys. Now, if Dak was there, I'd say this is going to be a good one. But I don't think Dallas is making any moves at the deadline because it would have happened already. I think you got to ride it out with DiNucci. Fine, by all means. I'm not going to take Dallas lightly. They still got Zeke. They got Cooper. They got CeeDee Lamb. They got weapons there. But the Steelers defense, though, I get we went in ranked number 1, but today they played like they were ranked 32 because they couldn't stop the run at times. And yeah, they were good at containing Lamar Jackson for most of the game, but they got to tighten it up for the Cowboy game. Because if Zeke goes nuts, that'll probably be the only way Dallas wins. Then it was an interception in the game by Hayden, where obviously all turnovers get reviewed, and to me, I wouldn't have overturned it. It was one of those. It kind of looked like he literally. You got to watch it to see for yourself. I don't think I would have overturned that. Davis would have let it be. And then Baltimore's decision. Jackson throws a back shoulder fade to Brown, and he slides and he's clearly out of bounds. You can see it clear as day, and Baltimore challenges it. That was the dumbest challenge ever, because anybody who was watching from here to friggin' wherever saw that when he was sliding out, he only had one leg in, and the other knee was already out. I mean, if they had called that a touchdown there, then you know what? I just would say get rid of replay at this point. If you can't get it right on the field and you can't get it right in replay, then whatever. But call stood, no touchdown, and then we win. Hopefully Hayward's injury isn't serious, but me being the Steeler fan I am, I always fear the worst, as all us Steeler fans do. These 4 o'clock games right now, I'm going to go back in a few and finish watching those up. Denver Charger game going to be pretty interesting. 2 young quarterbacks going at it. Let's see what Herbert does today. I'm sure he's going to have a decent game. You got Bears, Saints. That one's going to be interesting, and that's a game now the Bears need, especially now that Minnesota beat Green Bay today, which was absolutely shocking to me. But Dalvin Cook went off. Dalvin Cook rushed for like 4 touchdowns. He's the first Viking to do it since Ahmad Rashad, which if you would ask anybody that, they would have never guessed Ahmad Rashad. Everybody would have said Peterson, whoever. That one surprised me. Listen, Minnesota's got no shot at winning that division, but it helps Chicago. So Chicago's got to beat the Saints any which way, how. It's just that simple. Nick Foles has got to have that Super Bowl performance he had against Tom Brady when he was with Philly. Matt Nagy's going to have to get creative with the playbook. Khalil Mack's going to have a stellar day on the defensive line. They're literally going to have to play a mistake-free game in order to beat New Orleans, because if you let New Orleans score early, done. You let Drew Brees get hot, zipping the ball around, and I get with Drew Brees, the little dink-dunk passes, but it's the yards after the catch is what kills the defense. People are saying Brees doesn't have the arm anymore to do it. It's not that Brees doesn't have the arm. It's as simple as this. Brees just doesn't trust throwing the ball down the field to the unknown. He could do it with Michael Thomas because he knows Michael Thomas is going to go up and get it. He can kind of do it with Jared Cook. He doesn't do it with Sanders, and I'm still trying to figure out why. And why you don't utilize Sanders. At this point, if you're not going to utilize him, then just trade him. Hey, come back to Pittsburgh if you want. I forget who the Sunday night game is tonight. Oh yeah, the Cowboys and the Eagles. A game of no other importance to me whatsoever. Doesn't mean I'm not going to watch it and be interested to see what DiNucci does, because you got to scout now, knowing that we're playing Dallas next week. We got to see what they do against the Eagles. The Dallas defense is pretty good, for the most part. But there's a lot of drama down there in Dallas as far as like crappy play. And again, if you're gonna talk ill of your own team, don't be anonymous about it. Just come out and say, yeah, I said that. A lot of people think that Mike McCarthy lost the locker room. I don't think Mike McCarthy was ever the right fit in Dallas. But Jerry Jones had to go out and get he had to get that shiny toy. And again, Mike McCarthy, I honestly think is just an overrated coach. Because again, in Green Bay, he had all these weapons with Aaron Rodgers, and he only won 1 Super Bowl. Come on. If that's not overrated, I don't know what it is. And then, because I said it to somebody the other day who was a Cowboys fan, they'll go, well, Tomlin's overrated. Tomlin in no way, shape, or form is overrated whatsoever. I think Tomlin gets hated on because Tomlin's done what many people didn't think he would do. And you could say that his first Super Bowl, was with an inherited team. And that's fine, because that's one hell of a team to inherit at that time. But Is Mike McCarthy gone at the end of the year in Dallas? I don't think he is. Again, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with Dak. Are they going to give him the deal, or are they going to try to tag him again and just jerk around with the guy? I mean, seriously. I was one who said he doesn't deserve the money, but he was playing this year like he does deserve the money. But I think you got to give him a 1 year just to see if he can do it. If he does better than what he was doing before that horrific injury, you gotta pay the guy. But it was funny because when all the negotiations were going on, he was talking about, well, how am I supposed to afford to take care of my family on $30-something million a year? If you can't afford to take care of your family on $30 million a year, shit, give me the $30 million and I already know what to do with it. I think it's stuff like that that kind of hurt his contract chances. But again, we'll wait and see what happens with that one. Yeah, I'm still just waiting on the haters. You guys, you chirp all the time. I got to hear everything on Facebook all the time. Easy schedule, and Ben's washed up, and you have no offense, no, you have no defense. Record says different. So I'll be waiting. And the Kansas City Jet game, I don't know what Bell did in it. Probably next to nothing, probably, because Hilaire Edwards probably got a bulk of the carries, which I would have started Bell in that game. And obviously it had the ridiculous spread in it of like 19.5. I really didn't think Kansas City would cover it, and it looked like at a point it looked like they wouldn't, but then Mahomes just went off, and hey, so if you bet the Chiefs and you took the points, congratulations. Jet fans. I don't get why you're going to keep Gase for the rest of the year. You know what? Set the tone now and cut the ties that bind, and just cut Gase now. Just like Greg Williams be the interim coach at the end of the year. If the Jets win in a hypothetical situation, let's say you find out tomorrow Gase gets fired, Greg Williams takes over, and he goes, let's say let's say they pull out 5 wins, right? Let's just say they pull off 5 wins, and that's being sympathetic. Does Jet ownership look at themselves and go, maybe we should have made this guy the head coach instead of bringing in Adam Gase? Because don't forget, before Adam Gase, Greg Williams was a candidate to be the head coach. Well, we'll see on that one. But the Jets again, they can't score. They have no weapons. I don't even know why you're keeping Darnold there at this point. I don't even know why Darnold even is playing at this point. I know he has that never say die attitude, but man, this season is dead. There's no reviving it. It's flatlined 4 times. It's just done. Call it DOA, dead on arrival. Before the season even started, you could have predicted that this was going to happen if you're a Jets fan. But I'm going to go back. I'm going to watch the rest of these games now. I'll probably try to do another one before the Sunday night game starts. Till then, stay safe. Peace.